Places, please. Places, please. This is your places call for the final performance of the Razzle Dazzle.
The Last Showgirl hits theaters today and is being touted as a comeback for Pamela Anderson. It had its world premiere at TIFF back in September, and now speculation is swirling about Oscar nominations, especially for Anderson. And CBC's senior entertainment reporter Eli Glasner is here on set with me. So nice to have you back. Okay, let's talk about how this is different from other roles that Pamela Anderson has played.
This is the perfect role, I think, for where Pamela Anderson is right now in her life. I think she is at this moment of radical authenticity. Right? You think of her on the red carpets, she's not wearing makeup, she has a book about her life, she's got a documentary. She is putting it all out there, and she is embracing who she is. And then she gets this role to play that woman, Shelley, this aging Vegas dancer. This is a script that her old agent passed on, but then her son brought it to her from the director. And when Anderson saw this role, she realized, this is what I've been waiting for. This is something I can pour myself into. So let's meet Shelley. She's a dancer in her 50s. This is what it looks like when she goes up for an audition.
You have an act prepared?
I do. I'm a dancer.
Music?
Yeah. I gave it to the maestro.
I picked that because something about the way she says, I gave it to the maestro. Like, you get a sense, this is a woman who believes in that Vegas fantasy, right? And she loves this life, and she has devoted herself. She is one of the main stars in the Razzle Dazzle. This is kind of a burlesque show with topless dancers, and she has been the literal face on the billboard for decades. But those billboards are a little faded, a little cracked, because Vegas is changing. And so there's a moment where she's entertaining other dancers. She's kind of the mother hen to the younger dancers. And Eddie, played by Dave Bautista, the stage manager, comes over with the news. The show is closing.
You know, Razzle Dazzle, it's old. It's the last show of its kind on the strip.
That's what makes it so special. The fact that it's the last one. It's a show. It's costumes. Sets.
Look, it is a dinosaur, Shelley.
You get a sense of how much she loves this. You also get a sense that how she's hanging on. She's not the only one. Her best friend is Annette, played by one of my favorites, Jamie Lee Curtis. You might not recognize her first because she's hiding behind the Winter Ice lip gloss and about 5 layers of spray tan. Now, Annette does the early morning shift in the slots at the casino. Not exactly a choice shift for a cocktail waitress, but Annette, as you'll hear her explaining to Shelley, she's got some challenges. I think she's an alcoholic, she's a gambler, and I don't think Shelley trusts her. Take a look.
I don't like that. It makes you think like I'm irresponsible. I am not irresponsible. I'm thinking of opening an IRA.
No, I think you're too old to open an IRA.
Okay, whatever. I mean, you know me. I make money.
Exactly.
You know, you could always get together with Eddie.
What? Oh my God,
You
that's
could.
a first. Who are you?
I talked to Jamie Lee Curtis on the red carpet in Toronto when this movie premiered, and she described Annette and Shelley as Thelma and Louise, but less close. So there's this undeniable connection between the two of them. But she mentioned Eddie at the end there. There's a bit of history between Eddie, the stage manager, and Shelley. But also, speaking of history, Shelley has a daughter. And the daughter comes back into the picture, and so this story gets even messier.
Okay, so there's so many different narratives in this story, so many different elements as well. How would you describe this film? I'm loving what I'm seeing so far.
What surprised me, because I think, okay, Vegas, and it's fun, and it's, frothy. This is a gritty little film. This is an independent film. They shot it in 14 days. It's got this authenticity, this honesty to it. There are moments in this film where it's just Pamela Anderson there as Shelley looking out at Vegas. No words, just the vibe. And there's this wistful quality to this film that, there it is. I mean, reminded me even of Ocean's 11. Not that I'm expecting George Clooney, but the idea of this is almost a tribute to a world that is fading away. away. And that is what, there is Anderson as Shelley, what makes her role so poignant, in that this is a woman who has made choices, who has devoted herself to her craft. People see this as just a silly little show with women dancing in halter tops, but for her, she can see the roots in Parisian dance. And even though others are laughing, when she steps on stage in those feathers with that headdress, she feels beautiful. Take a look.
In Las Vegas, used to treat us like movie stars. Costumes, sets. We were ambassadors for style and grace. The Las Vegas Showgirl.
I cannot imagine anyone else playing this role. She is that good. And I fear people are going to take it for granted because they think, oh, that's just Pamela Anderson. But she put in the work. She has an amazing interview on Q today with Tom Power where she talks about her journey. She talks about when she was a Playboy bunny, dreaming of being an actor, dreaming of being on Broadway, thinking, how do I get there? And then, yeah, the breakthrough on Baywatch. But even that came with its own challenges. Take a look.
And it's a great compliment to be remembered for, you know, either the red bathing suit or all these, you know, kind of fun fashion moments that turn into Halloween costumes. But I knew I was capable of more than that. And I love creating characters. And that's, I think, part of the reason people love those characters is because it was more than what you think. There was a lot. It was a full commitment. You know, so.
Thing about this, Anderson thought she was done with acting. Like, she talks to Tom about, I was ready to just go into my garden and make pickles. Like, she was kind of happy with her life in Ladysmith, BC. Yeah. And then this role comes along and she realizes this is what she's been waiting for. This is what she can pour so much into. She had notebooks on set filled with ideas, filled with like journaling where she would use as fuel for her performance. There's this amazing scene in the film where she talks as Shelley about, you know, the impossibility of being a mother and being a woman and wanting to follow your passion and balancing all of those things. And that was not scripted. That's Anderson digging in and pulling that out and adding that as her voice as Shelley. And so I think this is a very strong outing by her. Let's take a look at my rating. This movie is like Vegas. It is shiny and tacky, but you look underneath, there's a lot of depth there. 4 stars out of 5. Fantastic stuff.
Can't be the only Canadian person hoping for a comeback for Pamela Anderson.
There you go.
Thank you for this, Eli.
My pleasure.